Hello, everybody, and welcome back into Wells Fargo Center from Philadelphia. It's the Philadelphia Flyers and the Toronto Maple Leafs in their first of two meetings this season. The first one coming from Philadelphia here tonight. As the opening faceoff here to center ice, Matthews against Couturier as Matthews wins the draw, and Carlo dumps it into the Philadelphia zone, icing early against Toronto. Well, the Flyers will go into their alternate uniforms tonight, the black and orange. Normally in the orange and white, and there's going to be a 4-on-4 here as both teams offsetting for roughing just 28 seconds into this contest. Joseph Woll gets the start between the pipes for Toronto. His first in a few games as Stolarz has been taking the main role again. Face off to the right side, taken one back by the Flyers. Sanheim winding center, and Couturier stopped by Woll early. Here's Brandon Carlo up on the wing. It's Austin Matthews. Matthews gave that away through center. Couturier back to it. Matthews for Carlo. Brandon Carlo back into the Philadelphia zone. He'll bring it around. Nylander chases that down. Sanheim to it. Here's Travis Konechny. Fed ahead. Joel Farabee in over the Toronto line. Winded shoot that's kicked out. And the rebound that stayed out. What a save early by Joseph Woll in the butterfly. And this puck looks like it's going to go in, and Woll just dives across and keeps it out. Face-off coming here to the left side of the Maple Leaf net. A good save early for Joseph Woll. Leafs have been on their heels a little bit here. Looks just like the game in Colorado against the Avalanches. Here's a block, and Domi gets it up for Nylander. Turn that over to Jamie Drysdale. Drysdale turns through center and now gets it up on the wing for Konechny. Knocked off the puck, Domi to it. He'll feed that up on the wing for Nylander. William Nylander back into the Philadelphia zone, sent around. Matthews to it first. He'll play it back to Morgan Rielly. Just held the line for Carlo. Back off to Rielly. Rielly looking for the shot. He'll circle and now wind and fire. That's stopped. Rebound. Nylander was whacking at it, but it just bounced past his stick. And the other way comes Konechny for the Flyers. Rielly to collect it for Toronto, up on the wing for Austin Matthews. Matthews back to Rielly. Rielly drops that back to Matthews. Back again to Rielly. Off for Nyes. Matthew Nyes. He'll send that back around. There's Yarncroke to it. Off to McCabe. Now Rielly moves in, has a lane. He'll shoot. That's knocked out and picked up again by the Flyers. Owen Tippett down the middle. Here he comes. 2-on-1. Tried to shot. It was blocked. Ekman Larson with Tavares. Here's McCabe up on the wing, and this will go down the ice for icing against Toronto. Their second icing of the first period. No scoring. We're halfway through one. Here's the face-off to the right side of the Maple Leaf goal. So Woll with some big saves early keeps it scoreless. Here's a save again. He kicked that out with the left leg. Yarncroke back to the line. Nyes took his man down, and now Matthew Nyes behind the D. What a play by Nyes, but couldn't get it to the goal. Drops that off for Tavares. Man in front, and they missed the net. It was Yarncroke. Had a gaping cage, but he sent it wide. Here's Tippett to Cam Atkinson. In over the Toronto line. Atkinson going far left to middle. Tippett shooting. Blocker stop made by Woll. Ekman Larson. Here's Yarncroke. He'll feed that back in. Sent around for Lawton. Lawton back to the point. There's Waugh. Nick Waugh in the slot. Cam York took it back, and here's Gregor up for Tippett. The former Leaf now ahead. Noah Cates behind the D. Tippett, that's blocked by McCabe. Under 4 to go in the first. Scoreless here from Philadelphia. Nick Waugh sends it in. Here's David Kampf to it. Shooting it. That's blocked by Cam York. And sent back ahead to Ristolainen. Fed ahead for Noah Gregor, the former Leaf. In over the line, he has Cates shooting that. Blocked away by Woll. Playing it back to him again. And that was shut down. Now side the goal, back in front, Brink. That wouldn't go. Bobby Brink with a good look. He's had a few in this first period. Here's Nick Robertson. Time running out in the first. Robertson waiting. He'll try to shot. That's blocked. Camp drops it off. There was help. Gets that back. 3 seconds. Here's Lorentz. That's stopped. And Camp can't get the rebound. We're through one tonight. No score from Philadelphia. Shots on goal after one. Philadelphia 8, Toronto 3. Hits are 5-2 Leafs. Face-offs 3-1 Flyers. No power plays. Scoreless through 20 minutes from Philadelphia tonight. Welcome into period 2 here this afternoon from Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. The Maple Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers. First of 2 meetings this year, no score after 1. Sanheim gave that away to Domi. He'll send that back into the Philly zone. Here's Nylander, drops that off for Domi. Domi turning it over to Sanheim. Here come the Flyers up the right side, now in over the Toronto line. Couturier going to the net. What's in front? And Carlo took that away, sends it down the ice. Matthews races to it, he's to it first. Looks for reinforcements, found Riley. Riley back for Matthews. And he'll drop that back, Domi. Nylander. Here's Morgan Riley, has the lane, shoots, but it's blocked by Sanheim. And the Flyers get it out, and now the other way, here they come. Sanheim behind the D. He's stopped by Wall. That out in front, but the Leafs get possession. Austin Matthews. Almost 5 gone in the middle period, still no score. Carlo off, Morgan Riley moves in. Riley looks, now shoots, and Hart with the stop covers on that. Philadelphia's netminder hasn't really been tested much in this contest. The Leafs have been passing a lot, and you need to shoot the puck more if you're on the attack. Face off to the left side of the goal, taken back by Tavares. McCabe dishes that back and went to nobody, and the Leafs will reset in their own end. McCabe, Tavares, here's Nyes, fed up the board side and back down, and that will go for icing, the third of the game against Toronto. Well, we're almost halfway, still no score from Philadelphia, but we hope you're enjoying this one. It's the Maple Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers. Here's the draw. Taken back, Flyers, Sanheim, held the line, Drysdale with a lane, he's stopped by Wall. Locked right into that one as here's Jake McCabe. He'll send it into the Philly zone, chasing it around the boards is Yarncroke. Off for Tavares, in the corner it goes, Tavares chases that down, and is that going to be a penalty? No, they drop that back to the point. Morgan Frost was there, here goes Tippett. Owen Tippett, McCabe on him, here's Tippett, steps in, he'll shoot, stopped by Wall, rebound in the paint, and Wall got it before it could cross the line. Here's Matthew Nyes, other way come the Leafs. Nyes drops that back, it was given away to Frost. Leafs have been defending most of this period, as here comes Drysdale. 8 to go in the second period, Frost 2-on-1 with Atkinson, backhand went wide. Flyers with it again. Frost Atkinson, penalty coming, and it is going to Toronto. A lot of hacking on the hands, and finally this one's going to get called for a hook against Simon Benoit. So Benoit will head off, and the Maple Leafs will go to the penalty kill. They're going to be tested early here as here's York shooting it. That was blocked. The Leafs trying to get in the way of that. Nick Waugh took it away. Here he comes shorthanded. Nick Waugh in alone. Scores! It's waved off immediately, though. They're going to take a look at it. Is it offside or is it goaltender interference? Either way, this is going to get a look from the officials. Right away, they wave it off. But of course, there's going to be a review, and it's no goal. They're going to say it's goaltender interference against Nick Waugh, so no goal. It would have been a shorthanded tally. And we stay scoreless, 6.5 to go in the middle period. Waugh chasing it down. Picked up there, Scotty Lawton was trying to find it. Picked up by Couturier. Ekman Larson trying to stop him. Couturier! He's stopped by Wall. Walked right in the rebound. They score! And that will count. 1-0 Flyers. Sean Couturier. What a turn of events. Well, the Leafs thought they had the lead, and the other way come the Flyers on the power play, and they put it in the back of the net. On the giveaway by the Maple Leaf netminder, Wall misplays it out front, and the Flyers are there to clean it up. 1-0, they lead. Here's York with it. Fed that ahead, gave that away to Domi. He'll send that back in the Flyer zone. Matthews chases that down against Cam York. It's kept in, Domi. Domi waiting, shooting. That's kicked out by Hart. Here's Ekman Larson back to the point. It missed McCabe, and it comes out. Flyers to the puck. And Couturier taken back again by Toronto. McCabe gets the feed. He has Matthews going to the net. He's stopped by Hart. McCabe, Nylander, Riley letting it go. Domi centers. That was knocked away. And there's Walker. And the Flyers get it ahead. Couturier in over the Toronto line, going to the net. Here's Couturier in front. Good save made by Wall. Matthews for Holmberg. He'll play that back ahead for Matthews. Has Bobby McMahon and McCabe going to the net, but they turned it over to Konechny. Last minute here in the second. Here's Farabee shooting it. Stop. Rebound. That didn't go. Flyers with two great looks down low. In tight, it's picked up by York. Centers for Walker. Here's Farabee. York scores! 2-0 Philly late in the second. Cam York will get this one. And the Leafs could not get it out before the period's end. Flyers get rewarded on another Toronto giveaway. This one beats Wall up and over the blocker side. Top left corner of the net, and it's 2-0 Philadelphia. Well, the Leafs have had some looks in this period, not golden ones though, and the Flyers have two in the period for a 2-0 lead. York will send it in with Atkinson. That'll end the second. 2-0 Philadelphia after two. Well, the Leafs had to be big in the third period in Colorado. They'll have to be big in the third period again here tonight in Philadelphia, as they are not on the scoreboard through 40 minutes. Shots galore 18-8 for Philadelphia. The hits are 5-4 Toronto. Faceoffs 8-3 Flyers, 1-for-1 on the power play. Toronto has an ad one. 2-0 Philly after two. Welcome into period three here tonight from Wells Fargo Center. The Leafs with work to do, down 2-0 against a red-hot Philadelphia lineup. They've been a force to reckon with this year, and they're showing it here so far against the Maple Leafs. Here's Konechny shooting it. That was blocked. Carlo got in the lane. Here's Morgan Riley. Looks ahead. Brandon Carlo. Carlo drops that back for Matthews. Moves in and shoots. A save made. Rebound. They score. It's waved off again. The Maple Leafs will have another goal looked at here for goaltender interference. This one's going to be a lot closer. The save was made, but right there, okay, there might be some contact, but that puck is going in regardless. And the Leafs get robbed of another one. No goal to call on the ice for goaltender interference. That is two called back goals, and it stays 2-0 Philadelphia. Here's Matthews. Here's Carlo. And down low was Nylander looking for the feed, but it's taken away by the Flyers. Sanheim has a lane open going to the Maple Leaf goal. Carlo gave it away. Farabee kicked out by Wall. Here's Carlo, and Toronto turns up ice. Carlo off to Nylander. He has Matthews, and Nylander knocks the net off. He thought he had it and just ran into the net and took it off its moorings before he could jam it home. It's been a very sloppy night for the Maple Leafs, and both of their goals obviously called back, but we haven't seen that pressure that we normally see from this club. And now they're going to go to another penalty kill, already down two. Farabee moves in, he'll go to the net, and why don't you just make it three? It's 3-0 Philadelphia on the delayed call. Joe Farabee took it upon himself here, and Philadelphia running away in this third period. 3-0 they lead. Toronto hasn't been able to put anything together. And both goals that they did put together were taken off the board. 14:43 to go, 3-0 Flyers. Draw one back, picked up by Sanheim. Tavares was trying to find it. Here's Konechny. Moves in, centers, Farabee looking for the fourth, but it didn't go. Sanheim in front, Couturier down his wall. The Leafs can't get it out, and a good block by Tavares. Fed that out front, there goes Morgan Riley. Finally, Toronto to the attack. Riley, and that pass missed nice. Here's Yarncroke shooting it, that's blocked. Tavares trying to find it, then they got the shot away, easily handled by Hart, and he will cover with 11:49 to go. Now the Maple Leafs with a lot of work to do, down 3-0 in this third period. And they have not, again, as you mentioned, been able to go to the attack. This third period, it's been sloppier than the first two periods, and this is not common for the Leafs. The third period, normally their strong suit. Here's Matthew Nyes. He has Yarncroke. Nyes shoots. He fired that wide. Halfway through the third, still 3-0. Here's McCabe, and he tucked that in. But Hart has it in his equipment for a faceoff. Yeah, the Leafs haven't had golden chances. They've had more time on attack, but just haven't been able to find those lanes to score goals tonight. Face-off won by Lawton. Here's Jake McCabe. Winds it, shoots. That was easily blocked aside. Lawton has it, centers it. They score! Scott Lawton gets Toronto on the board. It's the former Flyer, and this one isn't coming back. It's 3-1 at 11:02 of the third. Leafs will be all smiles about that. All it takes is one to get your team going, and this is a nice goal for Lawton just going to the net. It looks like he was actually going to pass but instead he decided to shoot, and it worked in his favor as it sneaks underneath and over the goal line to put Toronto on the board. So 3-1 in this third period. Still a lot of time to play here. McCabe for Wadden. Here he goes again. Wadden gets that in for Waugh. Waugh goes to the net. He'll feed that over. Nobody was there. Now the pass back, though, is David Kampf trying to find it in the corner. Has it again now. Wadden feeds it over, and he just missed Nick Waugh. Stepping into the rush, he thought he had that. But the Flyers did a good job of reading the play. Drysdale. Leafs take it back. McCabe to Kampf. David Kampf. He'll bring it inside. Toronto ahead with it. It goes to the corner. Nick Waugh finds it. Waugh looks. Didn't take the shot, then he did, and Hart has it with 5 to go, 3-1. Toronto with 2 called back goals in this contest. It's been a very frustrating afternoon for them here from Philadelphia. Austin Matthews line on the ice. He'll look to do something for his club. Here's Nick Robertson, and a penalty coming to Philadelphia as a slash on Robertson, and Toronto to a late power play down by 2. Opportunity here. You open the door for the Maple Leafs, and they'll find ways to take advantage. Face off one. Domi shoots. It stopped, and Nylander couldn't finish on the rebound. Picked up, kept in by Matthews. Matthews feeds that down low. Tavares tipped wide. Matthews back after it in the corner. There's Giordano. He'll clear. Nylander kept that in. Tavares. Domi shoots. That's blocked. Loose puck. There's Walker, and he will feed that off the boards and back down. Morgan Riley. Domi. Austin Matthews gave that away, and here's Poling. He'll get that back. Flyers do a good job on the kill. Nylander gave that away. Now Domi gets that back for Tavares. 35 seconds. Nylander, man in front, they score! Austin Matthews has Toronto within 1 late. It's 3-2, and it's a power play goal. And both teams 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Nice goal here. Nylander knows Matthews is going to the net, and he's going to saucer pass this over in tight. And Matthews wins that battle to make it a 1-goal game. Leafs did this in Colorado last game, but were unable to win. And they're going to get called for icing here. 2:45 to go in the third. 3-2 Philadelphia. But they lost in Colorado in overtime on a power play, 4-3. Here's the draw. Yeah, probably looking for revenge here tonight on the road. Riley blocked that shot. Nylander was after it. And that was given away by Drysdale. Now they bring it back in. That was Tippett. Drysdale. Atkinson. Time running out for the Maple Leafs. Sanheim brings it in. Nylander takes that back. Here's Austin Matthews. Time running out. Pass for Nylander. Man in front. And that just missed Austin Matthews. Back in the corner with it again. Fed out front. That missed everyone and gets back down the ice. Morgan Riley to it. Here's Riley. Looks in for help. Finds it. Domi! He's stopped. And Hart holds on with 16 seconds. Leafs are unable to get the setup that they wanted there. The Flyers did a great job of covering those lanes, and John Tavares, his line will take the ice. The Maple Leafs, time running. Here's Carlo shooting. That was easily stopped. It bounced the stick of Yarncroke, and now a penalty with 10 seconds. Going to Toronto. Face off to the left side of the Maple Leaf net here. Time not on the Maple Leaf side. Draw 1. Here's Benoit with Ekman Larson. They're to the attack with 3 seconds. There's a good pass. Waugh shooting. That was handled. And that'll do it.